Okay, guys, this is Donnelly Miller. So he is almost 50 years old, and he's been through so much difficulty and stress and anxiety, depression all throughout his life. And coming into his 50s, it has been so rough. I mean, just looking at him, he is this physically well built guy who does a lot of outdoor activities and keeps himself healthy, and yet he is still struggling like hell. I'm gonna put this on 1.5 speed like usual, just so I don't like take up too much time. And um, yeah, let's get right to it. All right, hold up. Let's see. It's gonna play.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video, and I'm going to be working on 2 videos I'm going to be uploading, but you could consider this like the shortened version of the next video I'm going to be uploading, which is going to be discussing my goal to become a much more likable person. And so just to kind of touch on that a little bit, I would like to first off by saying that I have found myself a new therapist, and I think for the first time I have finally found a therapist in which I can finally start to make some progress and finally start to reduce those more depressive bouts I've been having for the past
Yeah,
several years now.
see,
So I'm really
when you're saying stuff like I'm trying to be more likable, trying to be more likable, that's that's a sign that like he hasn't found he hasn't found any connections, no relationship, or I would say just connections in general. He hasn't found that, and it makes him feel like he's lonely, has no friends or whatnot. Even though he has a strong following here on YouTube. This is several years. I mean, mind you guys, this guy is almost into his 50s. He's 48 right now, and he's been dealing with these issues for such a very long time. All right.
looking forward to my upcoming therapy sessions, and I feel like each and every day I am making a lot of progress, but I do have a long road ahead of me. So when it comes to being more likable, I think it's going to help in terms of making friends, dating, and even finding a job, because they are all interconnected. And I know people will be saying, hey, you're likable as it is, but no, I want to be able to be more likable. And I figure it leads to a reduction in people ghosting you, people rejecting you, not getting a job, and so forth. And so I feel like I pretty much covered a lot of what I was going to talk about in my longer version, but my longer version just kind of gives you guys more of like a scenic surrounding. I'm kind of doing a little bit of some easy scrambling and even doing a little bit of a swim. So it's kind of a fun video, but I am talking about, my goal and kind of like what makes someone more likable and so forth. But yeah, even though I am making a lot of progress each and every day, I do have a long road ahead of me. And I know I don't like to keep putting this on a pedestal, but you got to admit, it's probably not very common. You come across a guy who's close to 50 years old who's never had a girlfriend. And I know some of you may be calling me chicken or a wussy, but let's face it,
Nah,
it's probably going
dude,
to be, it could happen sooner, but I'm
that's
kind of
what
giving myself
society
probably at
is
least
saying,
a few
man.
years before I feel
I
like I have
mean,
that confidence level after being established.
I mean, he has done so many things to try to deal with his issues, to try to overcome it. I mean, he like almost a decade ago, or more than a decade ago, I would say, he was on this show called Tosh.0, where he admitted he was 37 years old, he's a virgin, and people made fun of him. I mean, Joe Rogan, he Joe Rogan and that other dude sitting next to him, they were clowning him, dude. And it's not just going on Tosh.0, but it was also in his real life too, that he was getting made fun of, and that's what caused that's what caused him to close down his last channel. I mean, I would not blame him if that were if that were the case. I mean, that thing is, he that's what happens when you're dealing with when you've been dealing with depression, loneliness, rejection for such a long time, and now he's going into his 40s. It seems like the time has just been ticking and ticking. He's been doing like so many activities, like I mean, not just activities, but even like he went to school. Okay, he went to school to for exercise. What was it? Exercise therapy. I can't remember that, but it, or exercise. I can't. I don't even know the exact name of it, but it's almost like kinesiology degree. He went and got his master's, and he sunk himself into like $100,000 in debt. and he couldn't find a job, a decent job that would pay him. So then he ended up trying to go for the Olympics to, to prove himself something. As you can see on this video from 7 years ago, he tried to go into the Olympics so that he can prove that he's a likable, and he's a likable person, and that he will be more out there. And that was the sad cope that he had to do. And then when he couldn't deal with it, then he went in to do data science. He went in to do data science, and just because he wants to get that good paying job and try to get rid of that debt, and it didn't work out. So it's like he's been doing so many things to try to get him out of it, and it's like he's been faced with so much poor luck with his life. He's just been facing a lot of poor luck, and in getting somewhere. And now that he's almost 50, he's getting in that desperation point where he's trying to be likable. It's like this is his last shot kind of thing. And I feel bad for whatever the fuck he's going through, man. Especially for a guy who's well built. He's able to get good grades in college, like close to what, a 4.0, and is still like can't even get anywhere. It just goes to show that when you don't have your social shit together, it's almost like you're fucked. It's horrible.
Establishing my job, working on my social skills, working with a therapist and so forth to get my confidence level up there, my social skills up there, and just be a lot more, stable in life, and kind of being able to demonstrate my ambition and develop more of a warrior kind of like mentality. To give you guys an example, it's almost been a year since I had that incident when I was getting some Mexican food and a couple of guys started like hassling me, and I ended up kind of like going to my car. Now, if that happens again, I'm not going to like try to start a fight or anything, but I am going to stand my ground. Next time, I will just stand my ground, and if it comes to blows, and it comes to blows. But I figure I've got to kind of get rid of this nice guy mentality and kind of develop more of a warrior kind of mentality. And so that's why when I've been doing a lot of physical activity,
Yeah.
I'm kind of developing.
I mean, this is not the first time he has encountered situations like this plenty of times in the past. Like, I even remember on his last channel when he was like so pissed off. He was like punching, not not punching his camera, but he was like it was like punching with like his fist was just an inch away from the camera. Like he's pissed off, and he's showing everybody like, hey, look what I can do. Don't fuck with me. Like it has happened to him. And then while it was kind of comedic back then, it was still, this is like it still hurts, especially when you're in your when you're like at that time he was in his late 30s. He was not middle aged yet, but it was approaching it. And when you have that, when you've been through so long, all that rejection, all that like getting made fun of, especially by those so-called guys who have it together with a wife and kids, picking on this poor dude, you know. Yeah.
Being like that winning attitude. Like, even though I may not be in a race, I feel like I do have to live up to what my stepdad would always say. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And I mean, it comes to getting a job, it comes to whether you're racing, whether you're even beating mental illness. Winning over mental illness, that can be considered winning over your battles. It doesn't have to be a race. So regardless, it can apply to many areas in life. Going out there and date, when it comes to dating, I mean, I know that may seem superficial. I'm not trying to sound superficial when it comes to trying to find a woman in life, but I mean, it's just like you've got to have that warrior winning kind of mentality. So I'm going to be working with my therapist and how I can become more likable, how I can improve on my social skills, interviewing skills, so that way I can finally get myself that fun job that I look forward to doing, and just kind of work on my confidence level, self-assurance, self-esteem. But until I find my partner in life or find that group of people to really consistently hang out with, well, if you guys find yourself in a similar situation, you just got to learn to fly high solo. Woo, yeah. So,
I mean, yeah.
Awesome day. And you just got to learn to kind of appreciate what you do have in life, appreciate the beauty of nature, learn to see the beauty in plants, connect with the plants, even though people may not consider them living beings. I consider plants living beings. Connect with nature.
I mean, that's good. I'm not going to deny that.
So if you're anyone out there who doesn't have a partner in life, just remember, learn to fly high solo. Woo! And with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and stay tuned for my upcoming videos. It might be a few days. I got to work the next 3 days, so I'm going to be dragging my
Yeah.
butt tomorrow. It's been over, probably going to be about a 10.5 hour trail running, hiking, swimming, doing all kinds of things. So off to work tomorrow, so I'm going to be hurting tomorrow. But thank you all for your continued support. I wish you guys the best of luck in overcoming your obstacles. So till next.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of respect to Donnelly for keeping a positive attitude. It's really tough, especially in a situation like that. But um a lot of it is just cope, man. Especially with the past with his Olympics, Olympics run, or his like make trying to make it to the Olympics run, or his data science run. All that, it's just an absolute massive cope though. And I'm not saying this to downplay him, but it's really really fucking hard, and it's difficult. And I mean, I like I said, I give him a lot of credit for not crying in front of the camera all the time and sitting at home doing nothing. He's still putting himself out there and trying, but it's just so many years of like bad luck, just just like bad luck when it comes to finding the right groups or social or support system though. It's really tough. And he just said that he's going to start his new job in January, and he's no longer going to be doing the same job he did 30 years ago. Okay, so I don't know what he like. If anybody has been watching his channel. I haven't been watching much of Donnelly lately. I just came back just to watch see where he's at. But I don't know what he's doing right now. But and it's good that these people are giving him decent advice. But like I said, it's when you're trying to focus on being likable, that's a sign. I mean, of course you can't do that, but that's a sign that time is running out, and it's like, fuck, dude, I haven't. What have I got to show forth, kind of thing. It's really, really tough. And again, I'm not nitpicking and putting this guy down because for me, I'm already 34. Even though I have some social experience under my belt, it's still, I'm coming up almost at the same age as when he was first starting his YouTube channel at 36 years old, dude. I mean, it's kind of scary to think about it though. But yeah, I do wish him the best. It's all I can say. I mean, I can't tell him to be positive and, stop worrying about being likable or whatnot, because like I said, he's at that middle age. He's at that point of his life where it's like he has to do something fast. And all I can say is I wish him the best. That's it. And I have talked to Donnelly a few times, messaging him like on Facebook. I'm not gonna share what, but he seems like a pretty good dude, man. He seems like a pretty good guy. He's just really, really lost, and I can't fault him for whatever the situation he's going through. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. Take care. Have a good one.